good evening everyone, and welcome to another live session with the USMLE Sarthi team. And I am joined by our panelist, Dr. Praneeth Reddy. So today's first question, as we'll handle the SOAP, comes from a user, Roshni. I applied for only internal medicine programs in the main match. How would you suggest applying to programs in SOAP? What is the chance of getting categorical internal medicine through SOAP? Should I apply to other preliminary programs? What are chances? What are the changes to be made to the application in doing so? So that's a good question to start. So SOAP, as many of you may know, occurs during the match week. So it will start 15th of March. Unfilled position offered by the programs are filled by unmatched or partially matched applicant. So how do you maximize your chances? Can IMGs match, and so on? So first, let's talk about the eligibility. Who is eligible? When do you know you're eligible? So Friday before the match, Monday, which is in this case going to be 12th of March, you will all receive an email from NRMP notifying you of your SOAP eligibility status. This has no bearing on this match. Every year this email goes out. Every year students freak out. Oh, I got this email. That means I cannot match. No, that is not the case. Everyone who registered for NRMP is going to get this email on Friday before the match Monday, just telling you you are eligible or not. It does not mean that you did not match or you matched. So the first thing you all need to do is to register with NRMP. Without registering with NRMP, you're not eligible for the SOAP. Whether you have 1 interviews or 10 interviews, you need to register with NRMP even without any interviews. So the next question is, how hard is SOAP for IMGs, and how is this year different? So historically, IMGs have not had a good success rate in SOAP. We all know it. And this year now could be different. We have had students match in SOAP, by the way, both visa seeking and non-visa seeking, both prelim and categorical position over the years. So it is hard, but it is not impossible. In general, each year there are a number of IMGs with 20+ interviews. This year is no different. What is different is the number of cancellations. So usually as you interview on site, there may be weather related issues, travel issues, fatigue sets in. So a lot of cancellations happen. So this year those cancellations were low. So that could impact SOAP. Are programs interviewing more applicants? Yes, in general, they are interviewing more applicants. They could go in for a longer rank order list this year. So it's hard to say how SOAP in general will play out, whether there will be more categorical programs, more preliminary programs this year, but it is best to be prepared for SOAP. So the next question is, how many programs can I apply to in SOAP? So you are limited to 45 programs in SOAP. This year it will have 4 rounds. Typically it has 3 rounds. It will start on Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern. If you are not matched, you will get the list of unfilled programs. So there are 4 rounds. You will apply. You will have interviews. You will have 2 hours to accept or reject the offer. So that's how the rounds will go. And at Thursday 2 p.m. Eastern it will close. After the SOAP closes, all the students who have not matched will have access to the list of unfilled programs that you can directly reach out to. Now this is important to note that during SOAP, so Monday 12 p.m. Eastern through Thursday 2 p.m. Eastern, you cannot initiate any connections with the program. You will just be debarred. There can be serious actions taken against you. So please don't try to reach out to the programs unless the programs are reaching out to you, offering the interview. So that is the first kind of tip. What changes can you make to your application in SOAP? Well, the IRAD application cannot change. What you can do is, of course, You can get new letters of recommendation. So for things you have not put in your ERAS CV, you may have done some rotations, you can put those LORs. So fresh LORs are always going to be helpful. If you are going to apply to preliminary program in the SOAP and you may not have applied to preliminary programs in the main match, it is always useful to have a separate personal statement. So that is something you can do in advance. Prepare your personal statement. Third, if you've already interviewed at a program and you see that program appearing in SOAP, you should definitely apply to that program. This is very critical. A lot of our students who've matched in SOAP in the previous seasons have done so because they interviewed at the program in the main match. Somehow that program got into SOAP and they ended up matching there. Then programs can, of course, initiate contact. You will just have to apply and wait. It is essential to register through NRMP, of course. The other big question we get, should I target university programs, community hospital programs? So in general, IMGs stand a much better chance in the community hospitals. Don't be kind of swayed by the big university names. Make sure to be wise in selecting those 45 programs. Personal statement, of course, should be ready. If you have done home country residency or rotations in other specialty and you have not applied to that specialty in the main match, maybe those specialties will come up in SOAP and you can apply. So that's another factor. So for example, if you have done residency in pediatrics in your home country or have done rotations in pediatrics, but you did not apply to pediatrics in the main match. Now, if the positions open up in pediatrics, you should definitely apply. If you are applying for a prelim position, you definitely need to have a PGY2 plan ready, which means which specialty you are going to apply to in the main match. That is absolutely critical because after preliminary position, and this goes back to Roshni's question, after preliminary position, hard to get back into categorical. So have a plan ready, whether it is surgery or whatever else you are applying to do for the main match. It is very hard to match into categorical position if you accept a preliminary position, whether SOAP or main match. Do your research about programs that are coming up in SOAP. You will not know, of course, till the Monday, but it is important for you to do the research. It will be very hectic, and that research of typical interview questions. Why this program? Why you are interested in this location? What do you hope to get out of residency? How did you hear about us? All those typical interview questions are important. Start preparing them now. We do have questions on our website. We do have interview questions on the other YouTube videos that we have done. So make sure those are ready and available. You prepare those. If you're outside US, of course, remember SOAP is going to be done in the US time. So adjust your timings accordingly. It is absolutely critical for you to have a US number. They will not call an international number. So whether it's a Google number or a Skype number, have it ready. You should all be familiar with the Zoom account by now, Skype account. It'll all be, the interviews are all going to be virtual as with the main match. I don't think it'll be just over phone. So be ready with a professional attire, etc. And the Zoom account. So that's some of the things you need to be ready for. Now, if you see a local program where you live, so for example, you may live in Detroit, a program in Detroit shows up in SOAP, your chances are going to be very high in that program. So those are some of the things you should be prepared for. If you have done more rotations, that will help. Step 3, if you have taken after the ERAS CV was submitted, will help. Fresh LORs, home country experience, all that is going to be helpful to you. Okay. So let me see if there are other questions. I'm just reading the questions as they are coming in. Should we apply to SOAP programs via the IRAS portal? Yes, of course. Like I said, if you don't end up matching, you will get a list at 12 p.m. That is the only way to apply to the SOAP programs. This question comes from Christian. Between Monday and Thursday, you cannot reach out to the programs directly. So do not try to reach out to the program directly, even if you see the list and you see this program is attractive. You have to apply, and only then wait for the program to reach out to you. What scores / percentile is solid for, I'm assuming, SOAP? Please give a range, as there is less chance of USCE, USLOR questions come from Sophia. Thank you for the question. Very interesting and a good question. I think first, SOAP is uncertain. That means that even with a 220, 210, it could be a question of right time, right place. You just apply and they like things in your profile. Our students have matched in SOAP with average scores, but they had strong research. Some of them were local. It depends. But if you're asking a score, I think 240 plus is a very safe score. But remember, SOAP is not only about scores. It could be things that catch the program director's eye, maybe a rotation, maybe research. Our student last year who matched in SOAP had very strong research, and somehow she connected with the program director who had the same research interest. Is there a particular time they can extend an interview, or are they sending interview at any time? This question comes from Zeal. So thank you again for this question, Zeal. They can extend the interview at any time. If you look at the NRMP calendar, you should go and Google it. There are 4 rounds. So once the round ends, you will have time to apply. So once the round ends, then the other round starts. Typically during those times, they will not extend the interview. So they will extend the interview when the round is ongoing. But pretty much anytime during that, they can apply or they can extend, they can email it, they can call you. It can be all over. So, just be careful of that. Next question comes from Ritika. Should we apply early in SOAP? Does that matter to apply early? So remember, you are playing with 45 programs. Early. Now, historically, again, this season is different. Historically, the first round, you will see most positions go to AMGs. And that has to be, as you can imagine, a lot of programs open up their prelim positions because their students didn't match. So first round typically is going to AMGs historically. How this will change, not sure. I think a lot also depends on the type of programs that show up. So it is not that the programs will show up only on Tuesday or Wednesday. All unfilled programs will show up to you on Monday. So take a look at those programs, target those community programs or programs which are local. And if you end up applying to those 45 programs in one shot, fair enough. But I think it's a good strategy to keep something in your bank for the next 2 or 3 days. So depending on the program, we don't recommend all 45 in one go, but there may be programs this year that makes sense for all 45 programs to be applied in the first round itself. Smith is asking, can I make changes in my application information before the SOAP? So nothing in the IRAS application can now change unless, of course, it is your phone number or some of those contact information. So you cannot change it. What you can do is your personal statement can change. Be ready with the personal statement with new rotation details and things like that. That can change. Can you please explain scramble after you are done talking about SOAP? So this question is anonymous. So scramble is actually the older name for SOAP. So it is not different. Scramble till about 2005, 2006. SOAP was called Scramble. They are not different. It is the same thing. But after SOAP, you're all free to apply to the programs in the unfilled position, programs that have unfilled position after Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern on the match week. But during that time, during SOAP or Scramble time, you cannot apply or initiate that contact. Next question comes from Nicholas. Do you think with virtual interviews, the number of positions in SOAP will be huge this year? So Nicholas, we are all waiting to find out. I think two things can happen. One, as I said, cancellations have been slower. So the same set of AMGs and IMGs are getting a lot more interviews. So that means, yes, the chances that programs will go unfilled are higher. However, the programs are also interviewing more applicants. So that's where we don't know. If typically 20 spot program has a rank order list of 100 applicants. Now this year they may make a rank order list which is longer. So hard to say if they make a longer rank order list, will the program list be huge? We'll just have to wait and find out. Even the programs have no idea where they will go this year. That's about it, we know. What traits do they look for in an applicant? Question comes from Sophia. So what changes from the main match is just the time, right? So the time in which they have to make a decision and they have to offer the position to you is very limited. It is all very stressful in terms of the questions, in terms of the skills. First is your ERAS CV. So if they find something interesting, maybe research, maybe those rotations, maybe your home country COVID experience, that I think will be very, very useful because everyone is struggling with COVID and things like that. Second, they do expect you to know about the program. Why this program? Why this location? Why did you not match in the main match, right? Those kind of positions. So 10 minutes interview, have your elevator pitch ready. What do you bring to the program? Tell me something about yourself. Those kind of things I think will be important. Quality of LORs, very important, but they have only 10 minutes to make that decision. Again, go to our website. There are a list of questions, and maybe Dr. Reddy can post that link, or I'll post that link. And there are videos on our YouTube on what type of questions to expect. So maybe after this, we'll direct you. But a good question. They have only 10 minutes. It can work both ways. Uroj is asking, is there a way to see which programs participated in SOAP last year? Actually, the SOAP list is confidential. It is not shared outside of the applicants. I think you can always find out programs that went unfilled even after SOAP. I don't think last year's program directly correlates to this year's program in SOAP. Things are very different. It may or may not happen. Our suggestion is just to prepare your personal statement, other things, and get ready for the SOAP. I don't think you will be able to make any correlation with last year's program. But like I said, that list is only available to students who participated in SOAP. What are the pros and cons of ranking a preliminary surgery program? Now we are talking of, I think, the main rank order list. So question comes from Sandesh. The pros and cons, of course, preliminary surgery program, you have to be able to match in the advanced. Like I said, from preliminary to categorical is going to be harder. Then, especially for visa seeking applicants, it's a bit tricky if you don't have a PGY2 plan. I think it depends on what your goals are. If in the main match you already have categorical IM programs and you are interested in IM, go for IM first. Preliminary surgery is easier to match into. Many people may realize that prelim programs are easier to match into, but then getting into the advanced position or after 1 year what your plan will be is slightly harder. Next question comes from Smith. Let's say I have selected 45 programs before round 1. Few of them are unavailable after round 1. Can I select other programs after round 1 to? So I don't know what you mean by selecting the programs. It is about applying to the programs. So if you have applied to the 45 programs, if they are filled, you are done. So it is not about selection, it is about applying. You can select howsoever number of programs are there. When you click the button of, just like in ERAS, you apply to the program, assign personal statement, assign LORs, that is counted as an application. Uroj is asking, since we cannot change the CV in ERAS, how should we convey changes? Personal statement and your LOR is the best way to convey that statement of changes to your profile. Ritika is asking, do we have to apply every time in all 4 rounds, or once applied if there is for all 4 rounds? So you have chance to apply in all 4 rounds. So remember, you are limited to 45 programs. Now you can apply to all 45 programs in round 1. Then you cannot apply to round 2, 3, 4 because you've exhausted those 45 programs. You can apply to some programs in round 1 if you want, some in round 2, etc. So there are 2 constraints, the number of programs and the rounds. So that's where you have to balance. Okay. So all good questions. Let us know what else. I'm just reading. I heard prelim positions are risky for visa requiring IMGs. In what scenarios should one choose prelim program? I think I already answered this. It is basically risky if you don't have an advanced position match, right? So then the risk is once you start on visa for 1 year, then before the next, so let's say you accept the match in a prelim position now starting 1st July 2021. Then before 30th of June 2022, you need another position for advanced to start in the advanced position July 1st, 2022. If you don't have a position and your visa expires, you will have to go out of the country. That is the risk. Okay. So if I applied for the 45 programs and get no interviews, can I apply for more? Unfortunately not. You are limited to 45 positions. So if you don't get the interview, you will not be able to apply to the programs, more programs. So let me read some other programs, other questions which have come up. One question is, I'm doing one externship, a 10-week externship. I'm getting 3 LORs. So now we are into the next season question, I think. 3 LORs. Is it okay to have 3 LORs from the same place? I don't think it's a disadvantage to have 3 LORs from the same place, but if they are going to have the same content with not much difference in how you added value, that is not going to be useful. So 3 LORs from the same place talking about the same thing is just a waste of LORs. That should be avoided. Should I do observership in an average hospital? If it's a residency hospital that has residency program, I think you should consider it. I don't know what you mean by average. Another question back to SOAP. If the first round is mainly taken up by IMGs in SOAP, is it recommended that non-US IMGs apply to second round? So Anonymous, the thing is, this season is going to be different. Like I said, if you see programs that fit your profile, probably community programs, probably fitting the scores, I think you should go ahead and apply. Who knows what is going to happen, how many programs show up on Monday, on March 15th. AMGs will have their programs, right? So AMGs will have their university, prelim, whatever programs. A lot of programs do selectively take their own students, the university prelim position. So I think that decision to wait for round 2 and all can be made only on that Monday. Last year, some programs were unfilled till round 3. That is correct, Ritika. there may still be programs unfilled till round 3. Like I said, keep an eye out on the programs. I typically like the community programs where you have a bigger shot. If they come up in the first round, do apply, even if you think IMGs will apply. Do we get to assign LORs and personal statement individually to each program? I think the question comes from Uroj. Yes, this will be like applying to the main match. You can change your LORs. Obviously you can apply with a new personal statement to any program. So new personal statement, you definitely can apply. Okay. Let's see what other questions are there. So again, going on to the next season, how can USMLE Sarthi help me in match? Probably go to our website. We have plans. We have started enrollment now. This is for your entire season and beyond. So interview preparation, ERAS, PSCV, which programs to apply, how to do your complete planning, post-interview communication, reaching out to the programs, all that is part of it. We also will open up our next batch for research on March 22nd. If you are looking for research opportunities to publish, that is also there, something we do regularly. They'll start on March 22nd. If you are looking to build, now the next question, how can I build my profile for the next season? So again, without knowing much about your profile in general, US clinical experience are the most important thing. Home country experience also, don't undervalue it. COVID experience is good. If you have not done step 3, please go ahead and prepare for step 3. And then, research is also important. When it comes to rotations, obviously on-site rotations are pretty useful. If the universities have opened up and if you can travel, do the on-site rotations. There are affiliate clinic rotations even on our website, so you can look it up if you're not able to find direct university rotations. Tele-rotations may be another option for people who cannot travel. We don't know when this COVID situation is going to be settling down. So if you are looking for tele-rotation, in fact, there are students last year who matched only with tele-rotations. That is another option. Obviously, many of you know by now that it is the OET for next season that you have to be prepared for. So just make sure you don't mess up OET. We are actually starting a course on communication skills focused on OET next week. So look it up. It is also on our website. You don't want to fail OET. Then again, you don't know when you'll get the date. All the OET attempts are not being listed on your profile for now. So that's a good thing. But might as well get out of the OET stuff as soon as you can. All right, let me look at some of the other questions. Is it a good idea to mention all exam one has passed even if they are not US based? I'm assuming you are asking for SOAP. I don't know. So I don't know what you mean if they are not US based. If you've done your home country residency exam, NEET or something, in the personal statement, no one will care. In 10 minutes, and you don't want to confuse them saying, okay, I got this NEET exam, I may go there in India. I don't think it's a good idea in the personal statement in SOAP to mention all these exams. Okay. Then the next question, if I match in preliminary, I am primary track position. Okay, so I don't know what a preliminary IM primary track position is. How much chances have I got to get position next year for categorical IM? So preliminary position, like I said, after preliminary position, getting into categorical is going to be hard. There are funding issues, they don't like to fund the PGY1 again. It is not because it is easy or difficult. You will have to try, if you want to get back into IM, you have to try PGY2 or you have to try the advanced specialty. Not that it cannot happen, but it is going to be hard. Our students have been able to manage it. Many just go for advanced position. Okay, so let me see what other questions are coming up. Yes, I do want to point out that many of these other questions we have answered in subsequent or prior YouTube videos. So Dr. Reddy, if you can post that YouTube channel link, you'll find it very, very useful. In fact, planning for the next season is some of the video we have done as well. So take a look at that. We also have a lot of blogs. You can read the journey of some of our students. We also have a probability calculator on our website. Instagram also, we keep posting these useful links. So keep an eye out on those kind of links and channels. Questions. If I got ECFMG certification late this math season, shall I mention that in the personal statement for SOAP? You can. I don't know if they will, based on this certification, late certification, it is going to sway them. A lot of students got late certified. Personal statement is not really the place to mention that I got late certification, that's why I got less interviews. I don't know what that is trying to convey. Focus on your skills, focus on something you've added during this season. Okay, so hopefully this was all very useful, guys. Thank you again for your involvement in the group. If there is anything else our team can help with, do let us know. Look at the other YouTube videos that we post. Look at some of the blogs on our website, and then we'll also take questions more as they come. Do programs ask to talk to referrals? So if this is about SOAP, it is an important question I want to handle before I leave. Yes, they can, and yes, they definitely will. US based referrals become very, very important in SOAP. The programs have limited time to make you the offer. They will try their best to talk to your referrals. So good question. Make sure you are keeping your referrals, the letter writers, aware that they could receive a call. Should we take a preliminary position when there is less chance to get in categorical position if there is no visa issue? Well, if there is no visa issue, then preliminary position will still get you a strong USCE, even if the next year advanced position gets a bit iffy. That's very personal question. I would say go ahead and take it without knowing much about your profile, Smith. But yes, categorical positions tend to be harder after preliminary positions. So categorical IM, FM, PEDS can get harder, but look at it, you are getting very strong, genuine, legit USCE. Okay. All right. If there are no other questions, then thank you, everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed this session. Hopefully you got something out of it. And we'll see you in the next season in about 15 days as we kick off the new season. Till then, best of luck for your match. And for those of you who end up going into SOAP, all the best to you as well. And look up our website and let us know how we can help you. Thank you. And have a good night for those of you in Asia.